Hello, this is Kujerman, and I'm demonstrating the automated KAS refueling probe. So the idea for this is being able to attach to fuel tanks or other things like that at a base using KAS so that you can transfer resources between two vessels, but being able to connect the two craft without having to use a Kerbal to manually move the winch connection point. I need to make a well, I won't. But anyway, so the idea is you have this little section, and this is sort of an automated tug that will fly across the gap, pulling the tether with it, and then it will dock onto the side of your target vessel, and that will allow you to transfer fuel between this and whatever you have docked over here. In the Oh, that makes sense. In the version I have right now, this is my development save. So these RCS blocks are liquid fuel and oxidizer, and there's not any of that on the ship, so they don't work right now. Which is why I can't really go forward and back. Which I'll show you when I transfer to the flight scene and show you the demonstration. But setup for this is fairly simple. It requires only a few parts. First, you have a KAS winch. The next part that you need to get is the here it is, the stack connector port. It's very important that you have this port and that you connect it the correct way. You want the sort of yellow and black striped pattern to be connected to the winch itself, and the flat part exposed. Then you just kind of build your automated flying craft thing from that. For this simple design, I have a couple of RCS fuel tanks. I have some RCS ports. I have a drone core. Presumably you might need batteries on this. I chose not to include them. And then I also have the docking port. Yeah, so hopefully that's all you need to know in order to build it correctly. So now I'm going to transfer over to the flight scene and demonstrate how to use it. It's a little tricky, but KS actually gives us everything that we need to pull this off. I'm also using hat gravity right now, primarily because it's just too much work to not use it. So here we go. The first thing that you need to do, and I apologize that it's already docked, but I just tested it. First thing you need to do is right click on the winch and hit show GUI. That's all you need to do to start it up. And I'll go ahead and reset this to being how it would be when you first connect. So you don't need to worry about any of that right now. Also note I have hat gravity on. I may have mentioned that. I don't remember. Whee! Which explains, yeah, that. Ah! Come on. There we go. Alright, so this is a pretty good representation of what it looks like when it first comes out of the VAB. So in order to use this, you want to bring up the GUI by pressing show GUI. Then you want to hit release on the winch. It also highlights which winch it is, in case you have multiple of these assemblies. And then that allows it to fly free. I think it... Yeah, I'm not sure what SIS is doing right now, so I'm just going to turn it off. The winch will now extend. It has about 50 meters of travel. I think the stock winches do. You can change this in the CFG, but you probably don't need to. This button is a docked mode, and that tells KAS to treat the connection between the yellow connector and the attachment point as a docked connector. So this is technically one vessel. So in order to fly the probe connector, you want to click undocked, or you want to unclick docked. And now you can see we're focused on this vessel. So the next thing you do is just switch control over to your little refueling probe. And then, as you can see, I'm just going to use my RCS to fly over there and dock. Once the magnets engage, the probe is now one vessel along with the target, but it is not one vessel with the originating vehicle. So you cannot transfer fuel between them. However, this is easily remedied. We transfer back over to the host, the vessel with the host winch, re-engage the docked button, and now we are one vessel again. So I can right-click on this monoprop tank and right-click on this monoprop tank and transfer fuel between the two. And you can also refuel the automated docking probe from either vessel or either part of the vessel. They're technically one. So you can see you have a lot of options. If you design the refueler probe properly, it'll be very easy to connect, and you won't have to worry about fiddling with really particular connections. Getting the probe to fly correctly on a planet with, or a moon with a relatively high gravity is probably going to be somewhat of a challenge, but it's a challenge best left to the reader. Thanks for watching.